What's up, boys? I'm here doing what I hate doing, but I have to do it because the second I saw it on Discord, I was just like, holy shit. Um, they brought back 8 Gates guy, and he looks so nutty. So nutty. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my god. Anyway, I got on the forums. I scrolled down immediately. I haven't seen his talent, his skill, whatever. I've seen nothing, so I'm about to read it. But he is one that I want to get simply because of the animation and the character animation itself. It's so nutty, my dudes. Look at that. Holy crap. But all right, blah blah blah. Let's see. Okay, formation. He's an assaulter. Uh, I guess that makes sense. Okay. So, talent massively increases agility and force by percent and naturally has 78% speed. That's pretty bad. 50% damage rate, fuck off. And 55% avoid injury when on field. Um, I don't like this, but whatever. Decrease enemy speed by 48% and enemy support strategy attack by 25%. Okay, this is kind of cool. Support strategy. I'm gonna get into the opinion in just a bit. Increase ally assaulters and support HP by 30%. Okay. Self ignores 40% control rate of enemies. On death, 99% chance to chaos the entire team for 1 round. Naturally immune to Forbid, Fury, and Ice Seal. Um, I'm gonna get into this in just a second. Skill, Night Guy, blah blah blah. Tackle enemies growth rate 320%. Has 70% chance to petrify enemy for 2 rounds, and 70% chance to Fury Forbid enemies for 2 rounds. Decrease all enemies avoid injury rate by 30% for 2 rounds, and enemy support avoid injury damage rate by 30% for 2 rounds. Increase ally assaulter attack by 20% and ally support speed by 20% for 2 rounds. Randomly clears, not clear, debuffs on 2 allies. Recovers 50 fury for himself and 30 for others. Oh, fuck. Okay. Let's get into it. The skill is really bad. Like, really bad. That is a horrible skill. Holy shit. Anyways, I'm gonna get into the talent first. Um, like I mentioned, the 78% speed, that's actually pretty bad. Um, we have to keep into consideration that he's an assaulter, I guess, but that's still pretty bad. 50% damage rate, I think that's okay for someone that hits 320%. Um, this should be okay. It's not really that overpowered. If you really think about it, I mean, uh, I guess now that most builds they focus on uh being a tank rather than anything else. I don't do that. Not that I need to yet, but I know that I'm going to eventually. 55% avoid injury when on field. I guess this is okay for him as a character, but this doesn't really. Um, this doesn't really apply to the team. If this right here applied to the entire team, this would make him really overpowered, but it wouldn't make sense. So I don't know. I feel like this one just fucks him up in general. You know, if when he gets buffed, if they make this avoid injury for the entire team, then he's gonna be a great ninja to get. As of right now, just on the first sentence here of his abilities or talent, whatever, he's okay, but he's not. Ooh, I'm gonna get him right. The 48% decreasement of the enemy speed, we can do so much better. I mean, that's even self-explanatory. I'm not gonna get into that. Enemy support strategy attack by 25%. Increase ally assault and support HP by 30. Um, See, this is the thing. Okay, he gives you basically some form of like tankiness, right? If that's even a word. But like, okay, he increases your HP by 30%. That's okay. It's not like overpowered. It's like we've seen that before, right? It's not that big of a deal. My problem is that the avoid injury when on the field, that should be applied to the entire team. This ninja, as of right now, is actually really useless and not worth getting, right? So when it gets buffed, then I don't know. We'll have to see. Ignores 40% of control rate of enemies. That doesn't really matter considering now that you can be immune or have someone that cleans your team. And I know that uh, some CCs you cannot clear, such as like the eye seal, right? But at the same time, there are plenty of accessories that reduce the percentage to be controlled by CC, right? So at the same time, it's like it doesn't really matter that much. On death, 99% to chaos. Okay, this right here is what actually pissed me off, okay? It's a new ninja, right? He's supposed to be better, a quote unquote better, right? So this is basically like 100% chance. Like there's no way that you can reduce this 99% to like a 50-50. Even if you have accessories, what most people don't know is that when it comes to the talent, the accessories that reduce the percentage of CC does not apply. So basically you are going to get a chaos regardless of how many accessories that reduce the percentage of CC that you have. Like that's not gonna matter. You're still gonna get it. My problem is, one, why make it 99% when you know damn well it's going to be 100%? Okay, that doesn't even make it appealing. That just makes it stupid. Okay. Two, chaos. Chaos, motherfucker. Chaos was the first CC, wasn't it? Like, well, okay. Stun doesn't really count in my opinion. Does it? I don't know. To me, it doesn't. So for me, chaos was like the first one, right? I believe it was from Reanimated Itachi. I'm not entirely sure. I forgot. But basically, this was the CC that we got in the game, and it's ridiculous that we still get freaking ninjas that use it, because I think like 70% of the ninjas are immune to this anyway, right? And also the fact that it's for one round. Okay, I understand the fact that it would make it too overpowered if it was 2 rounds, but it doesn't matter. One ninja that's immune to chaos and can clean the team, it completely negates the entire thing. Like for example, my Hanabi, for example, right? Like she's immune to this. Of course, she doesn't cleanse the team, but still, if she survives, your team is dead. Well, that's mostly based on my damage, but anyway, right? So you guys get the point. Like this is just like it's ridiculous. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. Maybe it makes sense to you guys, but to me this makes absolutely zero sense. Okay, naturally immune to Forbid Fury and Ice Seal. I forgot if the previous ninja has the CC of Ice Seal. I don't remember. I don't really look into these things anymore. Like I said, the only reason why I'm doing this is because I really like the animation and so on. But I'm going to pretend and assume that the previous ninja has the Ice Seal, because that's what they do. Like they usually make the newer ninja like immune to the CC from the previous ninja. But anyway, Ice Seal, we don't see that very often. I think like 2 ninjas have it. Besides the previous one. One of them is Zabuzahaku, and I forgot the other one. But anyway, this right here, what the fuck? This is useless, okay? This is, oh my god, I'm just salty. This is useless, right? Now, the talent overall is absolute crap. 0.2 out of 10 IGN. Seriously, dude, like, oh my god. The only good thing about this is the fact that it gives you 30% HP, and that's not even that good. Now, I guess decreasing the support attack of the enemy by 25% is kind of okay. But you guys have to also realize the supports are most of the time, like, not 90%, I'm going to say 85% of the time because of the different types of builds. 80% of the time, the support is going to be the fastest, right? Even if you don't do a lot of damage, 100% of the time, the support has a type of CC that you're not going to be fucking immune to, right? So, decreasing the damage isn't going to do anything. It's not going to help you because you're still going to get a controlled regardless by whatever, except the ice seal button. Again, who uses it, right? So yeah, the talent overall I think is complete crap. When it gets buffed and they apply the 55% avoid injury rated to the entire team, then this ninja can be a really good tank ninja. It's still not gonna make him OP. It's just gonna make him like really good for PvE and I guess PvP for most of the time, I guess too, right? Now the skill, I can't get over the fact that this skill looks so sexy. Like, look at that, it's so nice, right? But again, this skill just makes me want to fucking like drown myself, dude. So we have a really high growth rate. Oh wow, OP. Not really. This doesn't matter anymore because you can 2R him. It's gonna be what, 330, 340. I don't even know. I guess that's okay for damage. See, something that would make this ninja really good would be the talent. The fact that he would ignore enemy's defense. Okay, that would also make him better, right? Because that would justify the fact that he's so tanky, just himself, right? So that would justify it if his talent had of ignored the enemy's defense, plus his new growth rate. That would make sense for this character. Plus, he's 8 gates guy, right? Like, there's no defense here. Like, he should be able to just spread your butt cheeks and just penetrate you, my dude, right? So, it just makes no sense. Anyway, 70% chance to petrify enemy for 2 rounds. Petrify. I do not recall this CC. I know it's been like applied on like multiple ninjas, more than 5, I'm sure, even more than 10. I'm even willing to go. I guess that's okay. Sure. 70% chance to Fury for enemy for 2 rounds. This can be kind of OP for PvE. But the thing is, this wouldn't work in PvE, so right? PvP, I don't know how well this would work because every top tier formation already starts with 100 Fury. So unless you make a guy the fastest on your team and actually make him able to outspeed the other team, which, come on, let's be honest, that's like not gonna happen, right? If you're fighting top tier enemies, like, yeah, no. Unless you're like way up there, right? Like Cat or whatever, but you guys get the point. It's like 90% of the time it's not gonna happen with your enemy, your like typical regular enemy from like Arena or Elite or what's the other one? I forgot. Ninja Clash, right? 90% of the time, like, you're not gonna make him faster than the entire opponent's team. Okay, if you can, then you're like top 10, right? But yeah. So the Fury Forbid can be useful for PvP if you're top tier, like way up there, right? Like the fact that you can outspeed the entire team, like I said again, like 20 times, I think. So decrease all enemies avoid injury rate by 30%. See, this thing right here, this like contradicts my argument of the talent should have enemy defense ignore or ignoring enemy defense. I mean, but avoid injury rate is not really that overpowered anymore. Having avoid injury rate itself is okay, right? There are different ways to build your tank team, right? So him reducing avoid injury rate by only 30%, like this right here is annoying. Like this should be like 50 at least. Because again, we're talking about a new character and we're talking about 8 gates guy, right? We have to keep in mind that he has a 320% growth rate, so they have to make that useful. Just because it's high, it doesn't mean it's useful, okay? Like his talent or his skill has to support that growth rate. It has to, like, the whole thing has to support itself. Okay, this makes no sense. So the avoid injury rate by 30%, that is useless. It's useful, okay, but to what extent, right? For 2 rounds, blah blah blah. Sure, and enemy support avoid injury damage rate by 30%. Okay, uh, I don't know what to say about this one because, like, I don't like what the fuck is the point of this? Like, why would you separate it? Why wouldn't you just make one overall avoid injury rate, avoid injury damage rate? I don't know. This just I have a headache just thinking about this, dude. Uh, yeah. So again, this dumb. Change it. For 2 rounds. I don't know why they keep saying for 2 rounds if like your ninja's gonna attack every round regardless, you know. Unless you suck, then he's not, right? Either make it 1 round or just don't. Whatever. Fuck it. Moving on. Increase ally assaulter attack by 20%. And ally support speed by 20%. Again with the 2 fucking rounds. This is okay. The ally though, right? Why isn't this increase the team's attack by 20%? Right? Why is it just so strictly for the assaulters? Okay. I I don't get this ninja. Like he's so bad and I was so hyped to like see what his stuff was about. I was so determined to get him just because of like the character animation itself. Not even the skill, just the character. Cause look at that, that's pretty fucking sexy, right? But like now, it's like, is it even worth it? It's not. I mean, okay, no, it's not worth it at all. Let's be honest. This character is trash, straight up. I cannot wait to see the buff. If the buff only changes the numbers, which most of the time it does, then I don't know. So far no. But anyway, increase assaulter attack by 20%. This should be increased team's attack by 20%. Okay, he is a new ninja for fuck's sake. And who has a 1-3-1 formation anymore? Like that's for losers. Unless you have a 2-3 formation, then okay, that kind of makes sense. But that's rare, right? At least in my opinion, that's rare. I know there's people that run 2-3 formations for like damage itself, but that would reduce your speed in general because you cannot have something that I was talking to someone on Discord about on stacking speed is that you cannot have a ninja that decreases the enemy speed and have a ninja that increases your speed because those two don't stack. And for people who actually know the mechanics of the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like those two don't stack at the same time. So you either have to focus on reducing the enemy's speed or increasing your own. You cannot do both at the same time. That's not going to stack. So that being said, blah blah blah, and ally supports people 20%. But this is not a talent, right? I'm talking about the talents. So like the talents of like increasing speed or decreasing opponent's team, those do not stack. This is different because this is like a little buff that you get right on the side of your character. So that's completely different. Again, this should be increase. I would not say all teams' speed. I think increased only the support speed is kind of fair. That makes sense to me at least. But the attack itself, that should be for the entire team, or at least for not just the assaulters. But at least include the support, right? Randomly clear debuffs onto allies. This, I guess, this is okay because it doesn't say, oh, there's a chance. You know, this is 100% of the time you're gonna clear 2 debuffs onto allies, right? So I guess this is pretty cool, right? And then you have the Fury, blah blah blah. So skill overall, it can be improved in so many different ways. It's ridiculous, right? So many different ways. We're never gonna get that though, so like, there's no point in bitching about it, sadly. But yeah. Oh well. This is more of a rant than anything. I know this is long as hell already, so I'm gonna end it here. Overall, Ninja, complete shit, complete trash. Don't get it. Sucks. I was hoping it to be actually overpowered, because it's a new Ninja, but whatever. Anyway, thanks for listening to me bitch about this, but see you guys.